Hey, I'm Gory Movie, and I'm a horror addict, and today I'm reviewing Annabelle Creation. Hey boils and ghouls, welcome to day 3 of Shocktober. Today I'm going to talk about Annabelle Creation, which last I checked is still in cinemas. It's directed by David F. Sandberg, who did Lights Out, and Gary Dauberman, who co-wrote it. So should you check out this creepy doll movie while it's still in the theater? Well, I'm going to give you a rundown of the plot, and we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the gory. So Annabelle Creation is the origin of the Annabelle doll. Again? It's about a doll maker and his wife who take in a gaggle of orphans 12 years after the death of their daughter. But as with anything that's too good to be true, the orphans soon learn that the house is haunted by the doll maker's creation, a possessed doll named Annabelle. So this gaggle of orphans, is gaggle the right word, or is it boogle? An unkindness of orphans? This is a horror movie, so let's go with a murder of orphans. Anyhow, this murder of orphans consists of 2 cute kids, 2 forgettable kids, and 2 asshat teenagers. But our primary protagonists are the 2 cute kids I mentioned. Linda, played by Lulu Wilson, who seems typecast since the only other movie I know her from is Ouija 2, another period piece about a cursed object. And Janice, played by Talitha Bateman, who was in the scariest movie of 2016, 9 Lives. Janice has polio, so she's stuck indoors most of the time with Annabelle. And it's only a matter of time before the demon possessing the doll tricks her into freeing it from its confines. Picking on the crippled kid? Really? Dick move, Annabelle. Once Annabelle is freed, no one is safe, and the truth about Annabelle is finally revealed. I gotta say, Annabelle Creation is my favorite film in the Conjuring franchise. Though to be honest, it's the only film I've liked in the Conjuring franchise so far. The biggest reason I didn't enjoy the Conjuring films is I don't like the Warrens as characters. They're too moralizing and their relationship is a little too sugary sweet for my taste. So not having them in Annabelle Creation was a huge bonus for me. Being that the girls are raised in a Catholic orphanage, there is a Christian element to the film, but it's not preachy like I felt the Conjuring 1 and 2 were. The other thing that really elevated Creation for me were the performances. Anthony LaPagula and Miranda Otto always deliver, and their roles here are no exception. I was also really impressed with the child actors, particularly Bateman, who showed incredible range in her performance. Both Linda and Janice are charming and sympathetic, and the girls' love for each other and their hard knock life really pulls at the heartstrings. And I like that we're not beat over the head with character backstory beyond that of the Annabelle doll. There was some very subtle character development here that I enjoyed, particularly when Sister Charlotte pulls a baby blanket out of her suitcase and lingers on it. It made me wonder if a lost child is what led her to the convent and caring for orphans. There was also a surprising bit of humor in this film. I laughed out loud when Linda asked the older girls to play hide and seek with her, and they told her to go hide with no intention of going to look for her. I can't tell you how many times I did that to my younger brothers when we were growing up. I guess I too was an asshat teenager. I was also very impressed with the atmosphere and setting, which worked to make the film feel believable and authentic. And lastly, I like how the film tied together with the first Annabelle film and the appearance of a Raggedy Ann doll, a reference to the real Annabelle. As much as I enjoyed the characters, they make some dumb mistakes. For starters, never do anything a note on the floor says, especially if it tells you to enter a creepy locked room. And if you do enter said room and a mysterious key presents itself to you, leave it alone or get rid of it. Don't use it to open a closet covered with pages from the Bible. And if you do happen to do these things and you find a scary doll inside the closet, lock the closet up, throw away the key, and burn the house down. But whatever you do, don't leave it open so the doll can escape and go full Chucky on your domicile. But my biggest complaint with Creation has gotta be the uneven pacing. It does pick up in the last 20 minutes or so, but for the most part it feels slow and drawn out. Creation is nearly 2 hours long, and I think it could have easily been 20 minutes shorter. And a big part of the reason it feels so slow is the movie doesn't Annabelle enough. The most the doll does while we're looking at her is turn her head slightly. And I'm not saying she needs to take up trike riding or voodoo doo-doo, but it would be nice to see her get up off of that chair and do something. Earn that paycheck, Annabelle. Also, like The Conjuring 1 and 2, creation suffers from a fair amount of cheesiness. Like the scene where Janice prays and says, "Forgive me, Father, for I'm about to sin." Look, kid, unless you're El Mariachi or Daredevil, you can't pull a line like that off. Well, maybe she could if she was dual-wielding pistols or had a huge shotgun. "Forgive me, Father, for I'm about to sin." Yeah, that might work. And lastly, I wasn't crazy about the mention of the demon nun from The Conjuring 2 in the upcoming The Nun film. I also could have done without the scene after the credits. Honestly, these days, it seems like too many franchises are trying to become a universe so they can be like the MCU and make Marvel loads of money. But it just comes across like a desperate marketing ploy. It's like fetch. Stop trying to make the Conjuring universe happen, New Line. It's not gonna happen. So for the gory, we're gonna play a little creepy versus not creepy. Annabelle, creepy. Notes, not creepy. Scarecrow, very flipping creepy. Kid Annabelle with bad CGI face? Do I even have to answer that? So yeah, this is a scary movie, but the best scares are the more subtle ones where things are moving around in the background. The worst are the jump scares and the ridiculous CGI. That Scarecrow though, he's just no. So much no. And not to be completely random, but during the scene where Janice is on the chairlift, did any of you get a Gremlins flashback and think that she was gonna go flying through the window like Mrs. Deagle? What the demon does instead is almost as bad, and I found it hard to believe that the kid wasn't dead after that. And speaking of dead bodies, we have a grand total of 5 on-screen kills for this movie, which is not bad for a paranormal flick. Bloodshed-wise, it's tamer than most killer doll movies like the Child's Play franchise or Puppet Master movies, but it is more graphic than most paranormal films like Ouija or Paranormal Activity. So, should you see it? Despite the flaws, Annabelle delivers on scares, so I say see it. This is a great movie to watch in a quiet, dark room, which in the theater you can't always guarantee, but the movie's been out long enough now that really should not be a problem. Hell, if you go to a late enough showing, you might even get lucky enough to have the room to yourself. I love it when that happens. But if you don't get a chance to see it on the big screen, Annabelle Creation would still make a great rental when it comes out on Blu-ray and VOD. Be sure to check it out and let me know in the comments what you think of it. I would also love to hear your thoughts on the Conjuring films or the upcoming Nun movie. And I'll be back tomorrow for day 4 of Shocktober and a review of the 1958 version of The Fly starring the legendary Vincent Price. Thanks for watching. Cut!